Hey, it's the podcast, episode 3. We are actually recording this on, I already forgot the date. I looked it up earlier and then I immediately forgot it.
January 23rd.
January 23rd.
I think we might lose battery, but...
Are we gonna, you think so?
We'll see if we can hang in there, I guess.
We're using a battery-powered recorder. It was about $300, $400 shipping. I wanted to blow my brains out when I got that like 3 days later. I was like, was it worth it?
Why didn't you just go to a camera store in Montreal?
Because then I had to go somewhere. And I'd much rather spend like exorbitant amounts of money I could never recover from than be outside of my apartment. People can sympathize. I know they can. I look outside and there's people being happy out there. I'm like, no, thank you. No, none of that,
I love
please.
Amazon for that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How often do you shop on Amazon?
Not that often, but when I do, it's just the best experience. Maybe like once or twice a month. I don't know.
Once or twice a month?
Twice. You do more?
No, it's just because because the way we have our microphone, it's like it's on the direction, but it's just not angled towards Amanda.
My bad.
Just so you shop once or twice a month.
I was trying to be discreet about it and just like pointing up.
You're just like pointing up, man. It's like pray to God. I don't quite understand.
Will do.
For our audio listeners, Frank was just sort of like staring at Amanda, mouthing the word "speak up" while pointing upwards. I understood.
Obviously,
I was just gonna scream in the microphone.
So here we are.
But going back to Amazon, I only shop on Amazon for things that I need. But like recently,
well, why would you buy something that you don't really need?
I do that all the time. What are you talking about? There's a pawn shop like 40 block, like 40 feet away.
Really?
You know?
Where?
Yeah, it's on Sherbrooke and it's next to, what is it? It's like right off DeCarry. So yeah. So like I'll go in there.
It's not one of the shops we went to last time where we almost got murdered.
I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh boy.
Boy, that was
another
crazy.
Story about murder.
It's where we tried to get like our microphone attachment to a DSLR camera. DSLR, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that even mean? Who even cares? They'll know what I mean.
Digital single lens reflex camera.
What a nerd.
That's what it means.
What a nerd.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, we couldn't find the attachment though. We went to every electronics store, probably within a 2-kilometer radius. Did not find anything.
And then we go to this store. I won't name it. I don't even know if it has a name, to be honest. And the windows are all like covered up and everything with like pictures or what. I don't know what
like
it is.
really badly like. What was it? I've never seen that before.
It was like a warehouse. Anyway, I don't know.
It was
and
weird.
We just go
it was in the bottom of an apartment complex.
And then we asked the guy. The first thing the guy tells us, "Oh, come in. You guys are being filmed." What?
Yeah. I think he meant it as a threat, but like it didn't. The tone didn't go with what he was. He was like, "Welcome, come in. You're being filmed. Come in, see what we have." And it just like snuck in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we ask him, and then it's pretty cool. He had a whole bunch of things, and I think we asked him, "Can we have a mount? You know, like the little mounts for the microphones that go onto the camera."
Shoots at people.
Yeah. And the guy brings me 2 tripods, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm asking for. And then what else happened there?
I think he tried to like sell you a camera, but then he got like weirdly angry when you said no. He got like weirdly upset. And so we were in there, I was looking at stuff and I was like, maybe we could use some of these cables, maybe there's something here that we need. So I was just looking at stuff. Frank knows what's going on, so I didn't want to bother him. But then I like turned around and Frank's just like, no, we don't need tripods. I need like a microphone to put on my camera.
Mm-hmm.
The mount.
Like the mount. And the guy was just like, well, we don't have that. So Frank went, all right, I'm sorry. And then we just sort of like shuffled out. Frank just took me out on the street. Like, he said, what the hell? What was that? What was that sales pitch? We couldn't understand what was going on.
And you were being filmed the whole time?
Being
no
filmed.
clue.
I wanted like Ashton Kutcher like jump out and be like, punked.
Yeah.
But like,
I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Let's just get out. Nick's like, oh, maybe there's something. No.
Frank was just like, the day was ruined. It was so bad too.
That day we went to at least 7 different stores.
Yeah. I think so. And then we hit some stores that like made no sense either. Like a computer repair store, and then we were so desperate.
I don't remember this. Was this a skeleton sketch?
Yeah.
I think you were there, and then you had to leave early.
I was with Marie and we went to get Subway or something.
I don't remember.
I think something along those lines.
No, because Marie was with us.
That's right. She was. She was with us.
And where was she in that store? I don't remember seeing her in there at all.
I think she just like. You know what? I don't know. I think maybe she was doing some
shady
deals or something with the guy in the back. Like he wasn't sure. He was
working her magic.
He was a weird dude. And the store looks big on the outside because it looks like it takes up 2 full small convenience stores.
It's pretty big. It's just filled with junk.
It was just filled to the brim. Like there was 1 aisle you can move in, and it's like if you wanted to get by someone, tough. Sorry, you have to like become part of. you'd have to like stab yourself in the little convenience hooks and just like let someone pass by you and then like unhook yourself and keep going. It was brutal.
And like shove the dust off your t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy.
Came out there having asthma. It was just the worst time.
So did you find one or?
No,
we never found
we
one.
went
Tell this whole story we never found one.
I'm saying this is why we shop on Amazon.
Yeah.
You go out in the open, you don't know what you're gonna find.
This is true.
Yeah, and the pawn shop we went to, because I went to that pawn shop too.
Yeah.
It was much nicer than that.
I've never
God
been.
awful.
so much nicer. Immediately told us right off the bat, yeah, we don't have that.
That's cool.
We probably won't have what you're looking for. And we're like, cool. And then we just stayed for like an extra 5 minutes anyway, because there's a bunch of cool junk in a pawn shop.
Sherbrooke, eh? Sherbrooke?
Yeah.
Just some cool stuff.
There's some cool stuff. If you ever walked like through the Westmount part of Sherbrooke
Oh.
with like Apothecary and all those places, I can't afford, like, I just look sadly in the windows because I can't afford anything, but like...
oh no, he's back.
She comes out with like a wire coat hook that's like red hot. She's like, get out of here, like poking me in the face.
See, the store we went into did not have that problem because they don't have windows we can look through.
Yeah, it didn't. It was complete. I don't know what that. I'm scared, man. That whole place terrified me.
I don't understand how it's still open. There's a Radio Shack sticker on it, but it's obviously it's not that.
Oh wow.
I don't know what it is. It's like the remains of like some.
Well, I've never been in a shop with someone who's just so aggressive, like openly aggressive, about like who did not understand and then was angry about it. It really weirded me out.
I have no clue.
We'll just stick to Amazon from now on.
Yeah, that's why.
I've noticed that
not sponsored by Amazon.
a lot of.
What we could be.
I've noticed a lot of stores in that area. They
don't care.
They're specific. They specify in like junk and like repairing junk, and I don't understand what the big deal is with junk.
Do you remember when we went to that computer store and there's a
exactly.
big puddle
That's
of
what I'm
water
thinking
around
about.
all the computers?
And
he's like, oh, that happens sometimes. And there's just like a bunch of hard drives with water pooling around
the
them.
dismantle computers, that is.
Yeah, but they're still there. Like, he's still keeping them for something.
For what
They're
reason?
like,
I don't know.
they're like 20 years old anyway. I mean.
No, there was some modern stuff there. I remember because I was really surprised. There was like a MacBook like monitor and like hard drive there, and I was like, that's pretty modern stuff to be having. And he looked at me, he's like, oh, that happens sometimes. Don't worry about it. There's just like brown water dripping from the ceiling. I was like, we got to get out of here. I thought the whole place was gonna explode on. I was like, I don't know. Electricity is the demon's magic. I don't trust it. Anything could happen at any moment.
Bless.
So remember, people, don't go outside. Stay inside. Listen to podcasts.
You can't even be safe inside anyway.
You can't. Well,
let me tell you a story.
Go on.
Nick knows that I'm going to tell the story.
Oh, okay. It is this one. I've been waiting.
Like,
I've been waiting to hear this.
I was trying to segue into the story.
Yeah, I had to find a way because like I'm itching to say it, and we're about 10 minutes in.
Solid
so
segue.
Yeah.
You got time.
So, you guys remember when Amanda was talking about her little
run-in with the...
Run-in, that's the word.
Run-in with the crime scene. Literal run-in.
Run-in with the crime scene.
Last episode for people who aren't paying attention.
Yeah. I had my own little run-in, but I didn't run into anything. I just was a witness to what seemed to be a pretty interesting, not a raid, but like a police operation, I guess you'd call it.
I would call it a raid.
A raid?
Yeah.
A raid involves like more than one criminal, though.
Does it?
Oh,
like when you're dismantling a drug cartel?
I think did you tell me the story with the pizza?
The pizza? No.
No. Oh no, it's completely.
No, that was,
oh my god,
that was the last time I think I told you that.
Get it together.
No,
man.
this is an actual. This is an actual event. It wasn't a movie they were shooting.
Okay.
So it all starts. I'm reading a book on social deviance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear this guy. He's yelling. And it's pretty common. Outside my apartment that people are yelling. Well, not yelling, but like talking loud, especially late at night. For some reason, people just don't really care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially the weekend.
At some point, but that wasn't even during the weekend. That was during the week. And some guy's just yelling and yelling and yelling. He's like, whatever. I guess he was calling his girlfriend or something. And I hear him bang on like the doors, like, bam, bam, bam.
Bam.
Like, good lord! And I'm sitting here just annoyed.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, well. Do I call the police? I mean, this is my right. I'm annoyed by you. Like, just go away. But I'm not going to call the police, obviously.
This is my right. I'm annoyed by you.
It's 2 a.m. I'm trying to read my book, and the guy's there.
On social to even see, and there's like a guy.
I just imagine Frank's like reading a book. Someone's banging on the door, and he goes,
Devious.
No. But I mean, like, I tolerated the first 3 or 4 yells, but after 10 of them, you're like, okay.
Yeah, like something's got to be done.
I am entitled to calling the police once in a while. I've never done it yet. Might as well try it out.
Sure.
But I was like, you know,
Try it out.
I'm not gonna call the police. Obviously, the guy's doing whatever. Maybe a bit drunk. Who knows? He's gonna leave, and there was a lot in it for me too. I'm like, well, I mean, if the guy leaves and I call the police and the police gets here, I look stupid because I called the police for nothing, or at least they'll think.
The old double-edged sword, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And so then I don't make a big deal of it, and the guy stops screaming. And so 40 minutes later, I hear police sirens, and I'm like,
oh no.
and I'm like, okay. This
40 minutes?
Well, 40 minutes afterwards.
Was he screaming all that
Okay.
time, or is he just stood outside?
No, he wasn't screaming. He was inside at this
Oh,
point.
someone let him in.
I didn't see him, but he stopped screaming, and
He was not there.
he wasn't there. And then,
Pam, why'd you let him in?
Come on,
Why'd
Pam.
you let him in, Pam?
Get it together, Pam.
and then at some point, I hear the police sirens, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're coming here. Like I could just tell. And then I hear them, the police sirens are getting louder and louder, and then at some point they just stop, and I hear some tires on my street. And I'm like, oh shit, this is happening. And then
Yeah.
and I'm going out, looking
So
at my,
excited.
All excited.
looking through my door, and I'm like, trying to see what's going on, and then I see two cop cars, not one, 2 of them. There's two police officers in each car. So
Right.
there's 4 of them, and they just run into the building. Don't
Oh.
care, just run
Oh
in,
my God.
Oh,
yelling.
boy.
Which bill? Okay, no, we'll talk about this
Well, the
later.
building
I'm
that's
scared.
the building that's across the street from my apartment, like it's a narrow street across the street.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
then-
close, yeah.
Yeah, very close.
Oh, they fit 4 police cars in there.
Not in the building.
They just all got like they're trying to pass each other on the way up the stairs.
I can barely get myself to my stairs. You imagine the. Anyway. And then, I don't know why Nick's dying. Anyway, and so so I see 4 of them, and they're running, and they go into the door, and it's a glass door basically.
Yeah.
And then I see the cops just pull back and hold up against the door as if someone has a weapon or something. It was really weird. And then 3 more cop cars arrived. There were 5 cop cars, 8 to 10 cops. I stopped counting, and then they're just going in, and like they are raiding the damn
Okay.
place, and they're
Jeez.
yelling, and then they pull the guy out.
What
The guy's in handcuffs. Everybody's like he's screaming,
Okay.
and then they knock him. Well, they didn't knock him down. I mean, it's not
Like
police
did like
brutality.
the karate chop, and he went like, ugh.
No, they just put him down, and like, but like the way they just ran into that building, I don't know what happened.
Okay,
And
right there, right?
Yes,
Like-
she's
like
pointing
if it
across
was-
the
Yeah,
street.
for the audio viewers, Amanda's
Not-
pointing to
I'm
the crime
pointing
building.
Towards the crime building.
Yeah, more
but
towards-
a little bit to the left.
No, more
here?
towards the right.
To the right. Okay, because I saw something very similar when I just moved in here, but there.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe it's the same guy. Who knows?
Maybe it's like, yeah,
Okay.
maybe it's the same guy who just moved apartments, so like they'll never find me. But he just
Like
moved
one
like
over.
yeah, like one down. The cops are like, well,
Or maybe the girlfriend just
Darn.
moved over. It's like he can't find me now.
exactly. Like, either way, I
They'll
don't
never
feel like that's a
suspect.
great idea.
No,
yeah,
but
exactly.
anyway, so and they tackle him to the ground. Well, they put him on the ground, put the handcuffs. He's like, I didn't do anything, and I'm like,
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
there's 5 cop cars here. Obviously, you did something wrong. You've been yelling like an idiot for like the past like half hour. And I'm like,
Oh
and I
my
just sat
gosh.
there, and I'm like, I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, this is exciting. And I see the neighbors across the street as well. They're outside looking through. And I'm like,
How many
The
severed
viewing
heads do they
party.
like pull out of there?
pardon?
How many severed heads do they pull out of there? Like a
Sever-
good hefty, like severed heads, because
Cut heads.
like cut off
Oh,
heads.
I
I was like, how many? Do they just grab him by the face and like?
no, they just kind of. They held him in like his hands at the back and everything.
Right.
They just held him, and then they just put him on the ground, put the handcuffs
What do
in.
you think? What do you think? What do you got to do to just have?
I don't know.
You
but
said okay. By the way, at the beginning of the story, you said a police raid is for many people, but they arrested one guy.
that's what I said. But no, you insisted on police raid. I'm saying it's not a police raid,
I'm
but
saying,
you said
look,
you can say raid.
I'll look at. Here's the definition from Wikipedia, so I don't know how accurate this is going to be, but a police raid is a raid by law enforcement officers, often in the early morning or late at night, hoping to use the element of surprise to arrest targets that they believe may hide contraband, which is a hyperlink, so you can go Google contraband, or other evidence, resist arrest, be politically sensitive, or simply be elsewhere during the day.
is this, like 1800 definition?
I just imagine the cops are like knocking on the door and no one's home. Like, well, time to raid this guy's house. Like he was elsewhere during the day.
No, but anyway, what I said at the beginning
Right.
is that I can't really call it a raid, and then you just said let's call it a raid.
And
then that's what I said. A raid
they
is.
raided the house.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're arguing that it could be just one person?
I'm saying you just said it was one person.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm saying it was a raid.
So
They
we're
raided the
agreeing
house.
it's a raid.
Okay, it's so they call
It is
okay.
Nick was right. For the record,
A
I was
raid.
correct.
Nick was
here.
right. Okay, so anyway, so the raid, and then I kid you not, like all 10 of them just ran in yelling, and I was like, what is going on? And then I
After
sat.
they arrested the guy?
No. Well,
Oh,
when
okay,
they were
before,
asking,
yeah.
I was
Oh.
just
I was also confused
Yeah.
about the timeline.
yeah. And so when it was all said and done, I kind of sat there, and then I'm like, well, I guess I can read my book now.
Imagine that's okay. So here's how I imagine the timeline of events from Frank's point of view. He's reading his book. The guy's banging on the door. Then the cop cars come up. He goes, and then the shooting and everything starts. They arrest the guy, and he just goes, I will call the police on these people. And he just like peeks out the
On the
window from
police.
his couch. Yeah,
Just
exactly.
open the hey, some of us are trying to sleep here.
Excuse me. It's like 4 PM.
No, but so and then I sat there thinking, I could have let something really bad happen.
You didn't do anything to stop that.
Yeah, but like it's not uncommon. I mean,
Yeah.
how many times in a day do we hear people yelling
Yeah.
for stupidest reasons?
Yeah.
I've never heard someone aggressively yelling that I didn't at least stop to see if maybe I should help.
Well, no, but it's not it wasn't like the guy was just calling out somebody. It wasn't like he wasn't saying like, "Oh, Pam, I'm gonna kill you." No, it's like, "Pam, let me in." Pam, I'm like, but it wasn't like if you had been there, you would have known.
Okay, that's fair, but I mean, like, I've never seen like
Now I'm worried. The people listening to this will be like, okay, this guy could have been a witness.
this guy's a witness. Yeah, exactly. Let's all of one guy who was in that police raid take him down from prison.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Like, what? This guy's a witness. Now we just gotta find his apartment that's across the street from the vague other apartment that this took place. What do you mean? Who do you think's listening to the podcast? They just play it in prison. They're like, well, you've served your time, but you know what? We're gonna torture you a little bit more. Here's the podcast. Hey guys, episode 3. And the prisoners would just start shivving themselves in the neck, like,
Oh my god.
like what's going on?
But anyway, if this happened to you, the same thing?
No, well, not exactly. Like there wasn't like that many police cars, but there was like an arrest, yeah, for sure, across.
It's
Across
it's
the
always
way.
across
Yeah.
the
It's
street.
Better across the street than in your own building.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I mean, like,
like, take out, like, a-
I could have peeked out and just taken a look down the stairs. Hello.
Hello.
You guys
Wow.
need any help?
You guys need any help?
Would you guys need some refreshments or?
Okay.
Refreshment. Hopefully she's okay. I mean,
Well, I mean, I didn't see there wasn't an ambulance or
Yeah,
anything, so I
yeah.
figured.
It's probably just, Pam was probably just like a code word.
Yeah.
He was probably speaking to no. There's probably nobody even there.
I don't know, but anyway,
Pam, let me in.
did it even happen? Like,
Yeah.
how reliable am I?
You know what it was? Pam wasn't home, so the police raided her apartment. That's what it is. She was unavailable during the day. What was the definition? She's
She was away during the day.
away during the daytime. Yeah, so they raided her apartment.
Is that legal?
Simply
I
elsewhere.
don't know.
No, but they
I feel
used
like
to
you're
do
a
that.
person of interest.
You need a warrant, right, to like.
Not well back in the day, so I learned.
Yeah,
you could
not to raid.
women could be
Right.
arrested a long time ago, just because they were out at night and were not supposed to be.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
You know what else I learned too? I don't know.
I took a class.
I took. I says, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
No, but for real, I think in 19th century even, 18th. I'm not 100% sure.
So 1800s or 1700s.
Yeah,
Okay.
even maybe early 20th. But I'm not. You know.
You don't-
I may
yeah.
be a little bit inaccurate,
Wow.
but there
Okay.
that
Well,
did
Google
exist.
it. Google it.
You sure if you want to waste a whole like 30 seconds?
Yeah, just Google it.
What am I supposed to
Okay,
randomly
wait.
Google this?
Google this then, because I read this recently. I don't know how true this is. You know the expression "rule of thumb"?
Yeah.
Which
Which
right rule of thumb? I'm typing.
Rule of thumb origin. I had always thought it was part of the propaganda for the Cold War, where if a nuclear bomb was going to be dropped,
I saw something Bible.
it was part of that like propaganda that if you stick your thumb out and the mushroom cloud is smaller than your thumb, you're safe from like the
Oh.
shockwave.
The
That
fallout?
wasn't true. That was the same thing as like if a nuclear bomb drops right next to you, hide under your desk if you're in school, you'll be fine. It was just to like assure the people.
You want to see what I'm having right now?
But the rule of thumb that I learned recently, it goes to like what you were saying, Frank. It was like back when it was sort of okay to still hit women. but it was like
Yeah, exactly. Look, oh my god. And
it was
I
like
can't even.
okay. Well, basically, it just said that you
I
can
have
hit
it- I
your
have it-
woman
yeah, I
with a
have it.
stick as long as the stick is not thicker than your thumb, and that
Yeah.
was the rule of thumb.
I'll read it right
That's
here.
Okay,
pretty
go.
thick.
The rule of thumb has been said to derive from the belief that English law allowed a man to beat his wife with a stick so long as it was no thicker than his thumb.
Terrible.
In 1782, Judge Sir Francis Waller is reported to having made this legal during this legal ruling, and in the following year, James Gilray published a satirical cartoon attacking Buller. Anyway, so yeah, you're right.
Okay, so I was right. Do you
Well,
think
I mean,
that? Do you think
according
that
to-
expression came first? Or the nuclear bomb expression came first.
Well, obviously,
That's
the chicken or the egg.
The chicken or the egg? The nuclear bomb or the stick? Which came first? I think it was the bomb, personally.
Oh yeah.
Had to make those sticks out of something, and it's the trees that were shattered by nuclear bomb.
Bang was?
What do you think? The
Oh my.
I love that. I listened to a podcast. It was the Rooster Teeth podcast, actually, where the guy who founded Rooster Teeth, Bernie Burns, he just hates NASA, and he went on this huge rant about NASA, and like how they don't know how many planets are in our solar system, but they do know that there's a planet covered in lava, and below that it's made of diamond, and that's like 100 million light years away. But they don't know how many planets are in our solar system. How fucked up is that?
We don't even know how many animals there are in the ocean.
No, there's the founder of Rooster Teeth. Just type in Bernie Burns.
Burn.
Why are you trying to get the picture?
I don't
No one
know.
can see
I
it.
want to have a visual for
I want to have a
myself.
visual of him. He was on The Amazing Race. That was kind of cool. They did like internet celebrities. I think Tyler Oakley was on it too.
Love him.
I was never interested in The Amazing Race. The only thing I know about it is that gif of a woman who launches a watermelon. It comes back and hits her in the face like full force. Puts on a slingshot, probably about the size of a person, right? Like the arm span of a person. Pulls it all the way back. Like she's sitting on the ground with how far it is pulled back. Lets it go. It flips. So instead of launching, the watermelon gets caught in the basket again and just flings back in her face.
my
And so
God.
she got hit in the face with a watermelon. And she was fine.
That can't
But
be
she was
good.
like, I can't feel my face. I think my face is broken.
God.
She's fine.
Okay.
She's-
Well, that's good.
What was she hit with, sir? A pumpkin?
A watermelon.
Oh,
I
think
said it
saw
like
this. I
4
think-
times.
Yeah, obviously
I'm
I wasn't
sorry.
listening.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
When we put this on YouTube and we'll put like a funny picture of a watermelon, well, we should include it in like a link or something.
I should
Getting hit
understand.
in the face with a watermelon?
A watermelon.
Watch, Jesus.
Watermelon.
Oh God, don't start. You know what's like really weird to me is that I think that joke was started with Vine and a Viner,
Yeah,
and then Viners got really big, really fast,
and then
and then they just dropped off the face of the planet. Like no one cares
it
about
lasted
Viners
a whole
anymore.
6 seconds.
Wow.
Wow. Well, it's funny because like
Come on, that was pretty funny.
that was just awful. That was the worst thing I've ever heard.
I know.
But like on SV, like Law and Order, Logan Paul's on Law and Order. He was a Viner, and he was the one who that article. Someone wrote an article about Logan Paul, which was funny because it just outlines like how bad he does everything and how like he doesn't understand how the world really works. But it sort of like redeems him at the end by saying he works really hard, and he like.
Are you trying to say you want to bring back the Vine?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. There are some good vines. There
I like
was Daniel Gonzalez. I liked his vines. They always had a lot of effort in them. And then what was it? Thomas Sanders. He did like voices and stuff. I like that.
What's the first guy you name?
Danny Gonzalez. You're gonna Google Danny
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
I'm not good with names. I need to see the person.
Yeah, you might recognize his face. But then there's the problem is now their vines are like it's so saturated
It's obsolete now.
and it's obsolete. But like people steal them and then they credit them. That was something that was going on with. It was a long time ago though. It's not happening anymore, I believe. But it was like SoFlo Antonio was doing that. It was a big thing. With,
Flo Antonio.
yeah, it was a big
love
thing
the
that
sound of
H3H3 sort of like did their little bit on it. I've been watching a lot of H3H3 lately.
What's that?
It's it's just this one guy Ethan, and he just sits there and he just critiques like pranksters and like social experimenters and like these ridiculous videos. He's not biased at all.
That sounds fun.
Like even if the person in the video is like made out to be this like monster with like really bad opinions, he'll like be like, oh, they've got some points here and there. Like it's not bad. Like I like him because he's not biased. He doesn't just jump on the screw this guy bandwagon. You know, he like really like takes the video apart and like looks at all the aspects of it, and he's just really funny
It
dude.
really
too.
sounds fascinating.
The most fascinating actually. Ass. You jerk. Yeah. You know what? The sarcasm is probably leaking through people's headphones right now.
They're like,
Yeah,
it
probably.
burns.
Oh God! What was that? Frank's sarcasm.
With an aftertaste of awkwardness.
Was it an aftertaste of? Why can I? Ugh. You never want to taste anyone's sarcasm. Don't give kids your sarcasm. So I've got another story. If I can talk even more.
I mean, we're all used to it by now, so you might as
Okay.
keep
Well,
going.
all right. That's fine. I was at
For the record,
the-
Amanda's sleeping.
I'm not sleeping.
I'm just kidding.
I'm full here.
You're fully awake. Busy reading a Bible verse. Doing some yoga. Signing up for a CrossFit course, I bet.
No.
Yes.
No, some of these things
Continue.
really sound contradictory when like
They
opposed
really
together.
do.
Yeah, they do, but it's weird how you can attribute them all to one person and everyone knows exactly the kind of person you're talking about. You know, and you can be like, that vegan yoga doing CrossFitter, and they'll be like, that guy.
Oh yeah.
But it's like totally contradictory, like
I just
things.
call it
It works.
new age.
I'm just the new me. New year, new me.
I
What
don't
is
know
that?
what
You're
was
just
that.
doing a peace sign? There's no video here. I don't know what you're doing. It's just audio.
I don't know. Okay, tell us the story.
Okay, yeah. So I was at the I was at our local watering hole, as the old pilgrims used to call it.
Which one?
By your water cooler or
Was
something.
that the
I was
one
at a
next
bar.
door?
Yeah,
Okay.
great little bar. If anyone who wants to go check it
I
out,
still don't know where that is.
and it's good. We should go sometime.
Did you know that pub stands for public house?
I did not.
I actually didn't.
That are you serious?
I'm pretty serious.
Ooh.
What's a public house though?
It's a pub.
That's just what it is. That it
I'm
didn't
not
derive from
100%
anything?
sure if it's a public house, but like yeah, it's
Okay, so you just gave us a fact, and then you're like, well, actually,
I'm not
Not
100%
100%
sure.
I don't really
It's like
know.
a pretty decent.
So I mean, like
fact, I
this,
think.
you know, this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a public house.
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
that makes sense to me. I
Yeah.
just mean like, was there a derivative, and then they just were like, well, we can't call it a public house anymore.
No, it's called a public house, and they just shortened it for pub, I guess.
Yeah, public house is too many syllables. I don't understand. I don't get what that means. I can't say that every
Join
time.
me at the public house.
And people are like, I don't understand what you mean.
Um.
Us plebeians over here. Is it plebeian? Excuse me. Is it plebeian or is it plebeian?
I don't know.
I think it's plebeian. Google that. Well, I tell my story. So I was at the public house with my friends, and it was the two of them, and it was me. And it was the start of my weekend. I was ready to drink, ready to have a couple beverages, responsibly, of course. But I was ready to have many beverages very responsibly.
Okay.
So so what happens was I go up to the bar, and I've been going to that public house for years now. And so the bartender, who has also been working there for a long time, he got to know me a bit. And so every once in a while when I'm in, I'll just pop in and say hi and like let him know I'm here. That doesn't give me anything.
Well, like, listen to it. Whoops.
Yeah. No, you'd start from the
Plebeian.
Stop talking and listen.
Plebeian.
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 Okay,
Okay.
so us plebeians then.
Plebeian.
Now that I've interrupted you in your story.
No, I wanted to know.
Okay, perfect.
So what ended up happening was I go to the bar, I chat with the bartender, and he's like, let's do some shots. Let's get your weekend started. And I was like, let's do it. So he pours some shots, and while he's sort of like rummaging around getting, the bottles and stuff, I feel like a tug on my shirt, and I turn around, and it's the table right behind me. It's a very small bar, so when you stood at the bar, there's like tables immediately behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's these two girls and this guy sitting at the table behind me, and I turn around and I was like, yeah, like really just like yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. Forget it, I'm sorry. And I was like, okay, good. And I turned back around and I was talking to the
So
bartender.
awkward.
That's what
What
he
is
says.
that?
Oh, good. Thanks.
Yeah, well, that's
I
how
didn't want to be bothered.
I don't want to editorialize to make myself sound better.
Smooth.
But like, I had a bit to drink anyway at that point. Did my shots right. Went back to the bar to get more shots like later on in the night. They were still there. And so while the bartender was like doing his thing and I was like waiting on him, I turned around. I was like, so did you think I was someone else before, or did you need something, or have we met? I was like, I just blew you off, and I'm sorry. I didn't know what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh no, I thought you were cute. I was like, oh,
Oh.
that's nice.
He was also drunk, though.
And so no, that's what she said. She's like, I thought you were attractive. I was like, okay, thank you.
She
got my shots. Walked there. Halfway back to my table, I go, wait, does she mean she thought I was attractive, or she thought I was attractive, then I turned around? And it's like one of those situations where you don't want the real answer.
Yeah, you're like,
so I looked back, and I just kept walking, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to ask her which one it was.
Oh boy.
And it's like one of those situations where it's like, I could gain nothing by knowing the truth. Like, I live in my fantasy world right now where she does think I'm attractive, and she currently does. But it's like, if she told me that, I'd be like, Yeah, I know.
Well, usually.
If she told me the
things
other
are
thing,
attractive.
if she told me the other thing, yeah, I would have been like, oh, okay. And then I would have drank way more. Thankfully, it was at a bar, so like the damage control was.
And so she said, I thought you were cute, and you just said, okay, goodbye.
I was like, oh, that's great. A cute girl thinks I'm cute. But I was with friends, and I don't really hang out with them a lot, so I was like there. I wasn't there to meet people. I was there just to
Okay.
hang out. And so
Chill.
I did that, and just the thought struck me. I was like,
Oh, wait.
wait a minute. And I just kept walking. I was like, there's
The
no
past
way.
tense was very concerning.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Way.
like, that could go both ways. And it's just one of the situations where you just never want to know the real answer. It's
So
like,
awkward.
yeah. It's like when you hear a sound or something, you're like, is that a murderer? Or is that just like my house like creaking around? I don't really want to know the answer, really. I kind of just want to not move.
Go with the flow here.
Yeah. You ever wake up in the night for like no reason, but then something happens like after you've woken up?
I wake up.
All the time.
I go to bed so late that if I do wake up in the night, it's more like in the morning.
You
so.
wake up like 8 a.m. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
what's going? Oh, the day's starting.
Oh, I have another 4 hours ahead of me to sleep.
You wear your watch to bed. You're like checking your wrist.
I don't even own a watch. Like,
Yeah, I
You don't
can't.
own a
I don't have the
watch?
wrists.
actually, my
We just go
I don't
watch
have the wrist.
shopping.
I don't.
Watch shopping.
My
Watch
older
out.
brother gave me 3 watches, all of which are broken.
Oh.
He's like, here, they're all
Just like-
yours.
Just like you.
All of them don't work.
You know where you should go? Fossil. Not sponsored by Fossil.
Not
We
sponsored
could
by
be.
Fossil. Yeah,
But they're
We could-
amazing.
You'll never know.
Check it out. Good watches.
What's Fossil? It's
I can't. Yeah, I can't do it.
It's a brand with bags, purses,
Yeah, in case you want a purse with to hold all your watches.
jewelry for Mariah. Wanna go?
Yeah, we could go.
We can check it out.
We can go. Let's all go to
Okay.
Mariah's
Fossils.
just a very, very good friend now. She's like,
Obviously,
obviously, I have
Say
to,
it now.
I have to reveal my whole life.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
no,
Oh.
you're gonna be in productions
Fuck.
and people have to know about your life. Awful. Hard. Difficult.
I'm a secretive guy.
The more people know, the more people will like you.
So
Yeah.
since now we've done the grand reveal, can we point out that before the podcast, Frank was like, oh, she wanted me to make dinner,
Oh,
but she's
shit.
like, I don't want rice. And Frank was like, well, how about potatoes? And she's like, I don't want potatoes. Frank was like, well, if you don't want
No,
rice
no,
or
no,
potatoes,
no.
what can I make you? Like, those are the only 2 options
No,
for dinner.
no,
It was rice or potatoes.
No, that's not the issue.
Sounds like that was the issue.
No, that's not. You misunderstood. I said last week I made potatoes. It
Right.
took me an hour because I'm not a cook. I had to like cut them and like
Oh,
clean them
no.
and like put some stuff, like put some ingredients. And I'm like, oh, it's too long.
Generally what you do.
And then
for-
she tells me, as I'm going back, she's like, oh, could you please make potatoes again? I'm like, well, no, I didn't want to. And so she's like, well, I don't really want rice. And I'm like, and I had a dilemma. I'm like, well, what else do I make?
So yes, I didn't misunderstand. It was rice or potatoes.
Yeah, but she wanted potatoes, is what I'm saying. She wasn't like, no, I'm not gonna have potatoes. She
Yeah.
just, I was more.
Then you snuck in like after. You're like, oh, or a salad. I could have made a salad. Definitely a salad. Salad. I have salad all the time.
Yeah, but then again, I'm like, I just have lettuce. Like what kind of
Dude.
salad am I gonna make?
Salad with potatoes and rice in it.
That sounds very good.
It's like some very exotic.
You can do some kind of like weird Western sushi where you put the potato, cook the rice, put the potato on the rice, and then wrap it up in a lettuce.
Hey, you know what? New plan. Nick's making me supper tonight. Perfect.
You have a Christmas tree still up. I noticed that. I can.
I did.
make something out of the plastic pines.
No, we love the Christmas tree.
Candy cane. Yeah,
I don't
but it's
care, I
January.
don't-
Have a name?
What?
I don't care if it's a month too late.
What is the appropriate time to take down a Christmas tree?
But hold on, what?
Does the tree have a name?
No, it does
I
not.
thought
have
it
a name.
did. Oh, that wasn't you.
No.
Oh, awkward. Okay.
What's the appropriate?
What's the- how
I mean-
how many days after Christmas do you take down your Christmas
Well,
tree?
last year we took it down in February, which to me I thought was pushing it.
Yeah,
Now, granted,
agreed.
it's I the lights are on, like I turned it on, the Christmas tree.
Yeah, looks
So,
nice though.
I mean, thank you, but I think this week should be the last week.
I would say so. I would think like after New Year's, like it's time for the tree to go. Like the
Yeah.
first or the second is like
But
really
the thing is,
too
I
soon.
I like to hold on to the tree because like the way my mom does it is just completely brutal.
it just burns it.
No,
Like the 25th. The
Not like- let's
24th,
say-
like,
That's what we
yeah.
do.
we have Christmas. The next morning, I wake up to the smell of like products or like cleaning products, and I know the Christmas tree's gone, and I'm like,
No.
shit.
The way you make that sound, it makes it sound like the Christmas tree got on a train and is like leaving for another country. Like I smell it in the morning, and I know he's gone. Like you
I
make
felt his presence.
I want to
away.
mention like
It is gone for a whole year, so.
That is sad.
Frank and the tree share a tender kiss while the tree's like moving on the train. Frank's like running after it, and it's like, come back. You killed Christmas.
I'll be back in a year. My
They don't understand.
They don't understand our love.
Oh, Lord.
But we burn our trees. We put them in a big pile with all our friends. We like bring our tree, strap it to the car, and we bring it out to our friend's yard. And we just burn them in the yard, big bonfire.
Why would you just burn the tree?
Because it's
Just plant it again.
It's an excuse that you can't plant a tree again.
I know.
don't-
Just plant it again. No, it's just like
I hope
it's an
people
excuse.
understood the
Yeah, it's
sarcasm
fine.
through what I said, because obviously.
Oh no, they can. They just got a huge headache from it. I bet.
Yeah, probably.
Their ears. They're gonna take out their earphones. Just sarcasm gonna spill out. Well, we should get ready.
When's the next podcast without Frank? You know?
Yeah, without his like 4 or 5, 6. God damn. We should get about wrapping this up.
Yeah, because Nick has to start making me food.
I'm not making you. I'll make you Western sushi.
Do I have the ingredients?
It's anything you find in the cupboard. You just put it all together and you wrap it up
Really?
in a roll.
Western.
Perfect. I have
Western
Nutella
style.
and I have.
It's gonna be the most delicious thing.
Not advertised by Nutella.
Not sponsored. I feel like if we were to get sponsored, it should be by a local.
Like that
company,
store where we tried to get the mic.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
pawn shop.
Shop there.
Every
But
time,
only
every
one
time
at a
we could
time.
start. Oh, by the way, we're being recorded.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We didn't know this, but we're still being filmed. Actually, they just follow us around now. Okay, so we should about wrap this up. We have no ad reads to do, so it's like no one sponsors us.
Meh.
You know.
Do you like bath? Do
Do
you
you-
like water? Did you know that they come 2 in 1?
Drink water, kids. That's my message to you. Signing
Oh,
up.
I think my fridge just like turned on because I hear this weird humming. Well, just in time. Goodbye.
Probably a ghost. Bye.